If you start the carnivore diet after just watching Hamza's 1 hour long video, you will end up feeling like shit. You will have no energy, immense brain fog, and a general feeling of being sick as hell. And I don't mean the cool sick, but the ill sick. And there are 3 huge reasons for that: fats, electrolytes, and micronutrients. And I'm gonna explain them all in this video. So please don't just jump into the carnivore diet after just watching Hamza's video. I'm sorry Hamza, but it's just incomplete and dangerous. At least watch this one, and then I'm sure that you at least know the basics to not feel like a piece of shit. And then of course feel free to watch 1 or 2 other videos as well. But at the same time, don't fall into the carnivore rabbit hole and waste your time watching endless videos. Now if you clicked on this video and you thought I would bash the carnivore diet, I'm sorry to disappoint you. That is not the point of this video, and I'm not against the carnivore diet. But what I will bash is Hamza's video on the carnivore diet. I've been looking into this carnivore diet for some time now. I've been on the keto diet for a few months, on and off, and I also tried the carnivore diet or animal-based diet, which includes dairy, fruit and honey. I tried that myself for some weeks as well. So I would say I know a bit, and I can tell you why Hamza's video is far from actionable and good and healthy advice. Sorry Hamza, I still love you, but it's just dangerous. To be honest, the video is way too surface level, and even though it's an hour long, it doesn't provide a solid basis that you can go off. So with that being said, let's get to the 3 things that you need to be aware of if you want to try this yourself as well. The first thing is electrolytes. Maybe I missed it somehow, but I never in his 1 hour video heard him once talking about electrolytes, or not even about increasing salt. Maybe I randomly skipped through this part, but it should also deserve its own timestamp, I think. Because when you're on the carnivore diet and you cut out the carbs, your body will need way more electrolytes than on your usual diet. And if you don't add those electrolytes, you will end up feeling like shit. And not after a year or a month, but after just a few days. Because what you will experience is the keto flu. This also happens on the ketogenic diet, which is just low carb. I don't want to bore you with details, but it is crucial that you increase your electrolyte intake, because a keto flu is really shitty. That means either get electrolyte supplements or really increase your salt intake. And then the best way to go about this is to mix your usual salt with pink Himalayan salt, because then you have more different electrolytes. You can look it up if you want to. And then approximately add a teaspoon of salt to your morning water, for example. I just had that. Or just really salt your food a lot heavier. Of course you don't want to overdo it, and if you want to be really safe you can do some more independent research, but just a bit more salt to your food, and then, like I said, a teaspoon of salt in your water. That should be fine. And then of course, listen to your body. If you feel sick, it might be because you don't get enough electrolytes into your system. The next important thing is to be aware of your fat intake. From what I've seen, Hamza only talks about protein, basically.
Protein.
And while protein is good, especially if you want to build muscle, you should also be aware of your fat intake, especially on a carnivore or a ketogenic diet, because fat is now your energy source. Hamza even recommended to just eat chicken breast to get in your protein. And I don't know if he actually does that, but chicken breast has so little fat, and if you only eat that, this can be very dangerous too. Now if you eat 1000 calories of cookies like Hamza does,
What?
maybe you don't need to care about your fat intake. But eating a third of your calories as cookies is just another weird take on the carnivore diet, in my opinion. He rightly said, you will not be hungry on a carnivore diet. And it's pretty damn easy to get along with just 1000 or 1500 calories a day and still feel good. He also rightly said that that is not good for your body. But somehow he still missed to talk about fat intake. When you eat a clean carnivore diet, so without the cookies, your body will be in ketosis. That means your body will take fat as an energy source, not the carbs like it used to. And that's not bad. Actually, I prefer it because I think it gives me more stable energy, and I even feel like I can go longer at the gym, of course. But of course, when your body needs fat as an energy source, you also need to eat fat. Makes sense, right? And if you cook with a lot of butter and you eat fatty meat, that might just be enough. But if you just eat chicken and that's it, you can quickly feel super lazy, super tired, and just not motivated to do anything at all. And that is because you don't eat enough fat. So please take that into consideration too. Fat is now your energy source, not the carbs that you would get from some rice or pasta or bread or whatever. But fat is now now your energy source. So you can't be cooking with the margarine and get everything in low fat because everyone's saying, oh no, fat is bad. I'm not gonna get into whether fat is really bad or if it's good, but if you decide to go on a carnivore diet, you probably must also increase your fat intake. Generally speaking, you want as much fat as you get protein. I guess you can have less, I guess you can have more, but if you don't have energy, if you're not feeling good and energetic, it's probably because you eat too little fat or you have too little electrolytes like I talked about before. Now I also want to talk about organs or micronutrients, because I'm sorry, but if you want to do this long term, you will be much better off if you eat organs as well. Or alternatively, you get your essential micronutrients in some other way. The good thing about the carnivore diet is that you can get all the micronutrients you need, and theoretically you don't need any supplement. But realistically, that only happens if you eat organs as well. The best ones for that are heart and liver. And the sad thing is, Hamza also totally ignores that in his video. The truth is, you probably won't get all the micronutrients you need by just eating meat. It is probably possible. Don't get me wrong, it might be, I'm not the biggest expert, right? But I would assume it needs a bit more work. Because if you approach this with just eating meat, I would assume most of us, you, me, especially guys living in the West, or the 1% of women that watch my channel, we usually tend to eat muscle meat. And I'm not saying muscle meat is bad, but even if you eat good steak, eggs, dairy, and I don't know what else, but you don't ever eat organs, it can be tough to get all micronutrients. And adding heart or liver can really help there. Of course, you can add other stuff as well. Liver is one of, if not the most nutrient-dense food that you can eat. It's rich in B vitamins, zinc, iron, copper, and so much more. And it's also highly bioavailable. So if you can stand the disgusting taste of liver, definitely eat it. It would be awesome to add to your life. It's really so healthy, but unfortunately also pretty disgusting. I can't eat this shit. Disgusting! And if you can't stand the taste yourself, either try to get used to it, which might not even be the worst idea, because like I said, it's really good for your body, especially if it's high quality. But what you can also do is to get some supplements, or alternatively switch over to an animal-based diet. That way, eating organs will probably still be super good, but at least you can add fruit and honey, which potentially can give you some more micronutrients that you won't get by eating steak and ground beef. But that's also an entirely different topic, and I'm not going to talk about it in this video. If you want to learn more about the animal-based diet, watch Paul Saladino on YouTube. And those were really the three big things that I wanted to tell you. Increase electrolytes, increase fat intake, and if possible, eat organs.
No, I don't think I will.